Hey everybody, and welcome to Expedition Engineering. If you're new here, welcome. What we're doing today is working on the rear legs of our Expedition enclosure for our sailboat. Previously, we got our hands dirty building out the very first piece, the inside wall of the starboard leg. It's cold and things are not solidifying or curing nearly as fast as we expected, but today we're getting going on the outside wall of that starboard leg, also known as the fancy leg. And the whole reason being that eventually, if we do it right, all of these pieces should fit together. We'll slap some fiberglass over the top and it should be a rock solid dinghy davit solar arch that looks just as attractive as the rest of our boat ever.
We've reorganized our workspace and now we are going to, we can't take this mold off yet, or this part off the mold yet, so we are just going to prep pieces so that we can be more efficient when we can use it again. So time to cut. Cut.
Like, why is it so tight over here?
So we clean up the floor. Jade's getting geared up, ready to cut. I took my shoes off and immediately stepped off of this plastic.
And I was like,
Fired.
And Brett looks at me, what?
We're getting official here. Look at this. Plastic, foam. We've got a little rack set up. Okay, we have our shape. I'm going to cut this out of foam, and we decided we're going to focus on one side at a time. So right now we're going, this is the innard piece of the starboard side. So I'm going to cut out the outside of the starboard side, and then we'll have all of our pieces. We'll cut this, and then we can laminate it once that cures.
And then that way we can start laminating that together vertically while we laminate the other sides. Because right now our time frames are a little bit handicapped by needing to only be able to make one at a time.
Like one a day.
Because our form's a little slow and
Yep.
It's a little cold. Trying to make.
It should speed up once we get the heater. And anyways, yeah, we're trying to be efficient with our time now. We haven't been up until this point, but we are now.
This green stuff is closed cell PVC foam. It's the middle part of the carbon fiber sandwich, and its job is to keep the layers of carbon fiber a certain distance apart, providing stability, strength, and support while adding lightness to the final product. Yes, this has all been modeled out in CAD, but the real important work is in the more advanced software called Jade's Brain. And even after 7 years of marriage, I'm still at the very introductory levels.
If it doesn't make sense what we're doing, that's okay. It doesn't make sense to us either.
It doesn't make sense to Brett.
No, yeah, exactly, us. Makes sense to Jade.
We've learned a special trick.
So
This stuff snaps really easy.
in a good way. Yeah. Ta-da!
Are we serious? That's fantastic.
It's like better than those laser etched balsa models I made as a kid.
Yeah, way better. You made balsa models with lasers in school?
Not in school, at home for hobbies. Little planes.
What laser?
They came lasered.
Oh, I was like picturing you as a little kid with a laser.
It's accurate. Good job, Jade. Jade's just cutting. You can't hear her because she doesn't have a microphone on.
You know what's ridiculous? You can translate for me. Is that, why did I ever cut anything with scissors? We should have just waited for the shears.
Yep. Amazon has like 2 day shipping, and we got these shears in 2 days, and it probably would have saved us at least 2 days to wait for them. Good job. Oh, and you're cutting all of them at the same time? Smart. Yeah, the way we did it last time worked really well. We couldn't really figure out a good way to seal up against our form, and so we just ended up basically just bagging and peel plying and everything on underneath, and then laying it up and putting it all back on top as well. So it made it isn't, perfectly mirror finish on one side, but that's fine because we don't care about that. It's going to get sanded, faired, and then covered in fiberglass. as a whole unit anyway, and so we don't necessarily care. And this way it has peel ply. It had peel ply up against it, and so we should be able to laminate right back onto this. We'll sand it anyway, but yeah, we're good to go. And we are hustling. Kind of sad that this is all just trash. Can you do where a Sharpie is? We had a 100 pack of Sharpies back at the boat and we kept forgetting every single time to bring them. But we brought a few this time. Also, look guys, can you see in there? Alternator's back. It's always important to label things appropriately so that you remember what they are.
Fancy leg?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a spider.
A fancy leg? Like daddy long legs? This is a fancy leg. Yeah. Jade and I just got on a call with each other because it's so noisy in here that we can't communicate very well. And so we're trying a voice call with headphones. I have active noise canceling on mine. I don't know if you do on yours.
I don't. I just have cheapies.
She has inactive noise canceling, passive noise canceling.
I just can't look at you because there's a delay in the words.
Right. It's better this way.
Wait, say something and then I'll count.
1.
It takes 2 seconds.
2 seconds. I mean, it has to go to space and back, so that's something. Anyways, hopefully you can hear me because I have the lav mic, so hopefully it's only picking up me and not everything else. If not, I'm gonna have a lot of post-editing to do. Wow, that is so fast. That's kind of comical.
How great it is.
Yeah.
How absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic. You may have noticed that Jade is shoeless. Weed. Yeah. Which I think is illegal here, so not that big a deal, but maybe it's decriminalized. You don't want to be high while doing power tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you also don't want them to be high. Why that one came out so ugly?
I rolled it the wrong direction.
Anyways, I was saying Jade doesn't have shoes on because she's walking on this sanitary conditions here. The plastic with all of this. So we're trying to keep them as dry as possible. Apparently there's a dog here. Did you bring our dogs? Jade successfully has everything, all of the pieces cut out of the perforated release film, the absorbent cloth, and the peel ply. So we're just gonna get going on carbon fiber cutting now, and I am going to start cutting out the rest of the foam. And then the only other thing that we'll need to cut out is just the red vacuum bagging. It's already a tube, and so we just basically cut off the length and then that's it. So, doing good. I found this scrap piece of foam, and it's like almost the exact piece. Like, what are the odds? It's crazy. The reality is Jade's a mastermind. We knew this last time, but we just didn't think about it at the time. But if you put tape before you cut it, it holds the fibers together. So for example, on this one, where this tape is, it's a nice and clean cut and stayed. But then when there wasn't tape, it gets all frayed and pulled apart. learning as we go. Got to put on a mask because Jade's about to start slicing carbon fiber, so we're gearing up a little bit, trying to be a little smarter. All right, here it is. She's putting on her shoes, and we have all of our pieces cut here, all of our origami, and all of our foam. Jade just ordered us some lunch, dinner. I think it's dinner time. We're gonna eat that, and then we'll start mixing epoxy. We figured we probably should eat first, because once we start mixing epoxy, you can't really stop. So now's the time.
And we're already hangry.
And well, yeah.
Just me.
After you heard Jade, she said, we're already hangry. Yeah, we are. We're hangry. And our little cutter was phenomenal. It was amazing.
In the past tense.
For the first, 10 cuts. And then, it kind of was terrible. What would happen is it would snag. It wouldn't cut all the fibers, and so some of the fibers would end up like behind the cutters. Where are they? The fibers would end up in this little gap right here, and then they just get snagged and they couldn't get cut. You couldn't pull it back, you couldn't pull it, so you have to like pull it out, cut it with the scissors. But some of these edges just got like mangled because of it. So, and I got this is like the cheapest one on Amazon, and it's been great, but they don't sell replacement blades. So I guess you get what you pay for. And the tape is a super, super neat trick, but I think we may run into an issue because we put the tape pretty close to where the epoxy needs to be and some places over it, which means we're going to need to take the tape off. And I'm afraid that when we take the tape off, it's just gonna absolutely fray the edges like crazy and kind of undo all the purpose of why we put the tape there in the first place. Acetone coming in clutch again. Because yeah, as we pulled the fibers off, when the tape was in line with the fibers, it just wanted to pull it out with it.
Which I mean makes sense.
Yeah, totally. It's like, yeah, I'm stuck. We're just gonna hang out together. Let's go. Where are we going?
It's ironic, because the tape's supposed to make it where it doesn't fray.
Right. But acetone's helping. We're almost there. It's a little fumey in here. I think these are the best words I can use. That's the only words I can come up with. Yep. Here's our plan. This is our piece in the back that we're going to use. The way we worked it yesterday worked, but we're trying to improve on that. So this is what we're doing today. We're going to wet out the diagonal piece, then wet out a straight piece, straight meaning it goes straight vertical. Then we're going to put down the foam, then another straight, another diagonal. Then we're going to put down the peel ply, breather cloth, absorbent cloth. Then we're going to cut out the plastic, pick up that whole thing, flip it over onto the form, and then put all the other pieces. That way, we're never having to pick up just wet carbon fiber. We aren't trying to pick up just one little piece that gets stretched and mangled and all sorts of stuff, and it hopefully stays as one unit. And we just ate pizza, so we're amped and fed.
We just finished wetting out the carbon, laid it down, rolled it, peel applied it, perforated release filmed it, batted on one side, flipped it, and did the whole thing again. Now we get to flip it again, get it onto the form and inside the vacuum bag. But that's all right after Jade finishes eating her orange.
Jade is just crushing the last of the, what are we calling this stuff? Seam tape? Sticky tape. The butyl sticky gum tape. And we're there. It's in its holster. And it's not perfect, and I think I'll probably say that with every layup, but it's pretty dang good. It's definitely better than our last one, and that was better than our previous one, so we're going the right direction. Yeah, it's kind of been a long day. It'll probably seem like it was really fast because it's been mostly time lapse, but that's because there's been music blasting and smoking and other types of smoking going on in the bays around us, and we're a little tired. Potentially a little under end influence.
I'm just gonna clean up our tools, but while I do, I just wanna talk a little bit about how everything went on this form. We had to expand our form a little bit because this piece, this is one of the fancy legs, is a little bit bigger than our form, and so we kind of did just a little bit of extension on it and vacuum bagged it, and it pulled vacuum great, but it didn't hold vacuum great, and so we're still trying to figure out what we're doing wrong with vacuum. I tried changing where the regulator is and the valve. I tried getting rid of the through bag valve and just doing a straight hose, and I don't know. My only thought is that when we're moving stuff around, it gets a tiny little pinprick or something, and it just takes one tiny little hole. But this is enough for now because it's being held down with the weights of water and the epoxy jugs, and the vacuum pulled all the excess resin into the batting. So, I mean, this is really all we needed to do. So we're good.
Because it's not a complex mold.
Yeah, because it's not a complex mold, we don't need to have it be under full vacuum the whole time. But we also don't want to leave the vacuum pump all night because there is a hole. It would pull out too much epoxy if we were to let it keep running. So we're gonna call this good.
Good.
Good, great, fantastic.
Next up,
We
can combine and have a full leg.
yeah, one, are they the same leg?
Yep. I made sure.
Okay. At least someone's paying attention.
I got you.
Finally, we got our new heater, and this time it doesn't have any exposed elements that we can short out. And fingers crossed it'll speed up our cure times, because although this may have seemed like it went pretty fast, it actually took almost 48 hours to get that full cure on that first part. I just want to real quick remind you why there's no audio right now, and that's because there is music absolutely blasting in the shop right now. And so under no circumstance would YouTube allow us to have that audio playing because we would just get copyrighted. So instead you get my amazing choice of music. They're like heavy duty industrial.
Flip it again. So this is
Oh, that one will probably peel off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call.
Okay, so let's cut the plastic now then. It's a much bigger.
Yeah, we gave ourselves a little extra breathing room.
Yeah. I feel like I'm making.
Yeah.